Hello and welcome to Paris Crochet Flow. My name is Paris and I am back here with quick tutorial on how to make this basket. I have been making these baskets. I have probably made 3 of them in the past and gifted them. So I figured that the yarn wrap has a pattern in it. However, unfortunately I tried this pattern, and because they have started with 6 single crochets, it doesn't turn out correct in the bottom, because if you start any project with 6 double crochets, it kind of becomes a cone. So the way they've started the basket, I did not prefer that way, because then it doesn't really work to make a flat bottom, because for a basket you kind of want it to be flat so it can sit. So the cone looking the way it looks like a cone when you start with 6 single crochets, then is not appropriate. So I kind of just followed the way I've been making mine in the past, and it's very easy. I am going to give you a quick way and you can follow along with me, just a way to make these quick baskets. It uses only 1 skein of yarn, and I use bulky number 7. As you can see, this is a bulky weight number 7, and this is by sorry, Loops and Threads, which is a Michael's yarn. This is Sweet Snuggles stripes, but I am going to be using a yellow Sweet Snuggles, which is pretty much the same weight, but the color is different, and it's also it's longer, so we might end up with a larger basket than this. However, I'll do a quick introduction of what this looks like. So I start with 12 single crochets at the magic circle, and then I increase to 24, then I increase to, I believe, 36, and then 48, and then I stay at 48. I make 2 more rows of 48, and then I make row where I work on the back post only, back loop only, and that kind of curves my basket that way. And then I will keep making 48 stitches for, I believe, 7 or 8 rows, and then I will divide for the handle. I'm laying it flat so you can see this handle. This is just a chain of 12, skipping 12, and then this is 12 stitches, so I divide it by 4. However, you will see the process once we do this basket together. So if you are interested in making this basket with me, it's a very quick make, nice little gift that you can work on within an hour or even less if you're a fast crocheter. If you're interested in that, stay with me and we will get this done together. Okay, so I'm going to be using this yellow yarn, and I like to pull from the inner one, just so I'm not fighting with the yarn constantly. So let's do that. I have the inner one, and I'm gonna set this one aside, but this is our goal to make this project. So first things first, we are going to, I have my notes here, so we are going to be kind of following this, and I'll write it up for you within the video. So if you're interested, you can just copy paste it into a document and you can use it to make your own baskets. It's not a pattern, but I could get it tested and have it as a free pattern, but for now you're going to get this as a free pattern either way. So we're going to start with 12 single crochets in a magic ring, magic circle, or whatever you call it. So 12 single crochets, and ensure to start it very loose, just because 12 is a bit much, and what happens with this yarn, it breaks if it's too tight. So make your single crochets, the first one, very loose, so it's gonna be easy to pull through. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And now we are going to pull this through. Make sure to be gentle with the yarn because, like I said, it's easy to break. So our magic ring is closed. Now I'm going to just slip into the first single crochet and close that. So now I'm going to be making 24 single crochets. So I'm increasing in every I'm going to be increasing in every stitch. So 1, 2, let's put a mark right here so we know if I don't get 24 then I can always work up to increase. So 2, 3, 4, I'm gonna have to check my stitches again because I have a feeling there is one lost. So that's my first one. 1, 2, so I increase in that one. So 3. The goal is to have to increase after, because the second one we are increasing, we are making 1 single crochet, 1 increase to end up with 36. So that's 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1 single crochet, 1 increase, 4, 35, 36. So I may have done a mistake somewhere, but your goal is that your row number 3 you're going to have 36 stitches at the end of row number 3. 1 single crochet, 1 increase. Now we are going to start row number 4, which is 2 single crochets and 1 increase. So that's my first stitch. So 2 single crochets and an increase, 1, 2. I find these hooks very annoying to work with just because it's very short, but I don't have any other number 8, so bear with me because I'm sort of struggling with this hook. I usually don't use large hooks. I'm usually a number 5 hook girl, but we can't use number 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You can go ahead and finish your row. 2 single crochets and an increase. You should have 48 stitches by the end of your row number 4. Okay, so you can do that alone or you can stay with me and I'll meet you at the end. So okay, so hopefully by now you have 48 single crochets around, because we did 2 single crochets and 1 increase. That gives us 48. Remember, we started with 12, then we went to 24 because we increased around, and then 36, and then 48. Now we are going to do 2 more rows of 48 single crochets so that we can have our base. Don't worry if it looks like it's curling up like that, because at the end of the day we are going to have it flat. So go ahead and do 2 rows of 48, no further increases, and I'll meet you at the end of row number 6. So 2 rows of 48. Okay, see you at row number 6. 46, 47, 48. That's row number 5. Now we are going to do row number 6, another 48 stitches. So 1, as you can see, I changed my stitch marker just to use a string, because these ones tend to make sounds when it hits the table. So that's 1. So make 48, which is your 6th row, and I'll meet you at the end. Okay, so we are at the end of row number 6. As you can see, we have a flat base now. Now we are going to make 1 row of single crochets only using the back loops only. So the back loop is, my light is kind of dying on me here. I hope you still can see. So we are only going to use this inner loop, or the back loop only. So we are going to make 48 single crochets using the back loop only, and that will give us the base. It will give us this part where it starts carving up. Okay, so let's go ahead and make 48 using only the back loop. So if you look at your single crochet, you have 2 loops here. So you have this loop and this loop. So we are not using this one, we are only going in the back. Usually we will crochet on both, but now we are only gonna do this part. That way it's gonna curve up. Okay, so your 48 single crochets, and I'll meet you at the end. Now we are back at the beginning, as you can see, as indicated by our red marker right there, which is a piece of yarn. And now we are working on the carving part of our basket. You can see it's carving up nicely. Now we are going to be working row number 8 to 17 single crochets around. So we are doing how many rows? Is that 9 rows of 48 double crochet, single crochets. That way I will meet you here where we need to divide for the handles. So go ahead and just work 9 more rows of 48 single crochets, and I will meet you where we need to divide for the handles. See you at the end of row number 17. Okay, I'm at a point where we can divide for the handles, and I apologize, I said make 9 rows. You could even make longer based on your yarn, so just make sure that your yarn is enough to make the handles so that you're not playing yarn chicken. So anyways, let's assume you are at row number 17. For me, I'm at row number 18. You could even make a longer one, but I would keep to maybe up to 10 rows right here. So from 17, from row number 7 here that we made only back loops only, make sure you have about 9, max 10 rows, because then you don't want it to be too long. So we are at row number 17, let's assume that, and now we are dividing for the handles, and this is let me just show you the part I mean. So we are dividing for this handle. So the beginning is here at the right here, so we are gonna count 6 and then we are gonna chain. So we are right at the corner now, so we are gonna make 6 single crochets. I've already made one, so 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and now we are gonna chain 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now you're going to skip 12 stitches here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're going to slip stitch on the 13th. Okay, now we are going to make 6 single crochets, counting that as the first one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Now that's the other corner, so that's 6. Now we are going to make 6 more, so 12 in between the handles. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. Now we are going to chain 12 again. Repeat the same process, chain 12, skip 12 and then make 6 single crochets. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then we are going to count 12 here to skip. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and we are going to slip stitch it to the 13th right there. Okay, now you can see we have our handles, so we're just going to keep working around now to create something we can hold on. So again, see, that's number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and we are back to our stitch marker. You can just keep moving it. So this is our stitch number 1, and now you're just going to work around until you have the desired size of your handle, but we are going to work single crochets including on the chain. Remember, the chain is 12, so don't lose your count. So let's single crochet at least 1 row together, and I'll meet you at the end. So as you can see, we are gonna make single crochets along the chain. So we are going to recover both. We are going to recover 12 stitches on one side and 12 stitches on the other side, and we are going to be back to our 48 because the sides are 12. So if you're making a bigger basket or even a smaller one, always remember to divide by 4 so you have the handles. So our chain has been worked on, and we continue in the same manner, single crocheting along until we get to the next handle. So now I'm crocheting on my other chain 12, and it's single crochet all along. Very, very easy make. Now we already have our handle here. If your yarn is running out, you can keep the slim handle or you can keep going. I prefer 3 rows for the handle because then if you do 4, it's a bit too thick and clumsy. So I'm just gonna do 3 as I always do, but this I will say is per preference. If you prefer to keep it skinny like that with only two rows of single crochet, it's still pretty. If you want to make it 3 like mine, you can go ahead and crochet with me up to the end, and I will meet you at the beginning or the end of the row. So we are going to have three rows in the handle. So finish up this row. It's also going to be 48 stitches, and I'll meet you at the end. So I'm back to the beginning of the row, and this is my first stitch, and I'm just going to slip stitch into that, and I'm going to fasten off and break my yarn, leaving a length of a tail just to weave in. This yarn is easy to break without scissors even, just have a lot of fluff. So our basket is finished, and I can only show it laying flat because my space here is not that big, but there is your basket, and you can do all sorts of fun things with it. You can add eyes. I have one basket where I added eyes, and this one is the color of a chicken, so you could add some red yarn there, and when someone carries like that, it looks like a chicken. Or if you have other colors, you can make like a tusk to make it look like an elephant. You can make all sorts of little animals as baskets, and just make it a fun project. There you are, our basket is finished. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you will make many more. If you end up making this basket, share with me on my Instagram at Paris Crochet Flow, or make a comment in this video and let me see your mix. I hope you enjoyed. Now, happy making, happy crocheting, and just go with the flow. I'll see you in the next tutorial or in my next stitch lessons. Thank you and have a good night. Bye.